And as you have it, the US Congress is having a public hearing on the issue of genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And even as in captivity, are reason to Trump in support of every voice calling on America to save Christians in Nigeria. Talk to us
yes,
about that.
let me just make it very clearly. I learned that the federal government has dispatched an unfortunate team led by Nuhu Ribadu, the IG, and the rest of them who are going to the United States of America to try to manipulate the United States government onto to accept non-invasion, of Nigeria. But I do not know very clearly that the United States, they will be disgraced at the United States because, really more, they are going to be, have the first and check. They don't want to entertain them in that regard. As simple as that. So, there has been series of evidences, against Nigeria in that regard. Muslim American has written to Donald Trump, and the letter was actually acknowledged. The US Congress have taken a decision on Nigeria already, and that decision led to the issue of country of a particular concern. So if you factor and begin to structure all these things together and be able to bring the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the matter, you will know that Nigeria has become an unfortunate nation whose ideals and ideology of leadership is based on Islamizing the entire Nigeria, implementing Sharia, running an Islamic government under disguise. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under J.Omotosho, that is what the United Nations want to hear. That's what the delegate from the United States of America want to see. How J.Omotosho is going to compromise between an extant law and a law that has been repealed. Okay, and that is why the House of Representatives have told Bola Tinubu, you cannot get this man. All you need to do is to take powers from a certain section of the Constitution and set him free. They have won. They have told him. And you can see the Nigerian government is bent on, showing that the unfortunate might, instead of taking it to where Boko Haram and Sambisa forests are, the only place they see they can carry out such unfortunate, federal government might is in the entire eastern part of the country.
Okay, before I let you go, talk to us about the position of federal government through the Secretary of Federal Government this morning, talking about Judge Akuman, who came out to blame American government, particularly Trump, for the renewed hostility of adopting people, invading churches. According to him, that the statement of Trump have triggered insecurity in Nigeria.
Of course, that was too childish of Akume, or what they call him.
Akuma. George Akuma.
George Akume. That's too childish. He has reduced himself to, psychopaths, within the corridors of power. He wouldn't go and tell the former governor of Benue State the same thing. So you can see the synergy and the connection. Why the present governor, Hyacinth Elias of Benue State, is making the same statement in connection, and they are in the same line with the Secretary to the Federal Government, George Akume. So you are denying what is happening in Benue State, what is happening in Middle Belt, that there is no genocide. See, that's why we fear that Nigeria does not know what have come to them, especially in the eastern part of the country. Look at what is happening in Imo State. Over 1,000 Fulanis are parading the entire capital of Owerri. What has come to that point is what we refer to a political conquest led by the Fulani government, where they begin to plant their molds to defend, in agreement, to defend Islamic government agenda to conquer and Islamize Nigeria. Look at it. The whole Benue State, the governor is saying there's no genocide. And then the secretary to the federal government too,
from the same Benue.
Where are we actually heading to? The only thing why they are still breathing today, where they are still struggling to be faster than the shadow, is to make sure that before it is too late, to take over the Biafran land. That is the target. But they will be disappointed that the amount of resistance, there will not be something they will live to remember for the rest of their life. Because there were already a grounded plan to make sure that there's a massive solidarity, that they cannot be able to clamp down on the entire eastern part of the country on any decision being taken to show solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, either by civil disobedience or whatever, which is their right. So Nigeria should come to understanding that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial has become and is causing global attraction and tension. And they continue to show on the unfortunate ways of trying to restrict international observers from taking part in this illegality trial. And of course, it will go a long way to continue to damage Nigeria's image and give credence to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial. And that's what it means. It's unfortunate that it has come to this point where there's a global focus on Nigeria currently now, especially centered on this trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that has the capacity and the capability to totally destabilize Nigeria at any point in time. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu and J.Omotosho will be held responsible, and posterity will judge them. Any attempt to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today will be resisted, and that's why you see this massive presence or deployment of Nigerian security in Afaruku.
But let me even go further, because the presence of police personnel in his house in Afaruku, as is being reported, that is under private security. What does that speak about what is happening today?
It is oppression and suppression. That's what it represents. It is a sign, that nobody should rise from that, region as a result of, because they know actually what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually represents. He is the newest symbol of the Igbo struggle, representing over 85 million Igbos, Biafrans around the world. That's what it means.
But I want to bring this angle, because information have it that the Finaly
across Africa to work
do not want Nnamdi Kanu released, because people say that he was the only voice that was alerting Nigeria about the danger the Fulani present before his incarceration.
Yes,
I can tell you that the Fulani government has become an Islamic government
really
in Nigeria.
strong people
And Nigeria is no longer operating under a constitutional
relationships that go
Nigeria
back
is
for
operating
many
under
years
a disguised Islamic government called Sharia law, and that is what they are using to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are using Sharia law to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And simply because where your questions are very 100% correct is that why is it that Nigerian government are not able to cut down those who are brandishing different types of sophisticated weapons as bandits and jihadists? They deliberately went after people who has alerted the global community that there is danger in the land, and so there is possibility of ethnic cleansing and Christian genocide, and the rest of security and defense partnership in place beyond this sort of inaugural who is bent on making sure they suppress that resistance voice, exposing that atrocity, and that's what we are also seeing currently happening in the court. They are refusing UN observers. There are serious clashes between the DSS and the United Nations observer team who are there to witness the downfall of the Nigerian judiciary today.
Because as we have it before now, we have the situation where the arm of UN talking about the arm that this is arbitrary detention of humans being asked Nigerian government to allow the Nnamdi Kanu go. And before then, we had a court of appeal in Nigeria who ruled that the man was extraordinary rendition as such that the Nigerian government have lost every right to prosecute him. Apart from that, Nnamdi Kanu has consistently maintained
safer,
that the law upon
greener,
which is
more
being tried have been
prosperous
repealed.
country.
As such, that you
And we
cannot be
see
tried
Nigeria
under
as an
non-existent law.
absolutely key partner in
So in the
that.
face
You
of
know, we
all of
have
this, what will be
really
the
strong
position of
people-to-people
UN
ties between
as
our
it make their
countries,
entrance
and
into
it
Yes,
Nigeria?
and
relates
when
to
they
back
started
for many,
reacting
many years of
based on the
history.
findings, I
And
hope the Nigerian
so
government
we
are not going to
held
come out
this,
and
you know,
start defending
inaugural
what they don't know
security and
about.
defence
When Christians are
dialogue. It
being
was a
killed in
meeting that
Nigeria,
went on
they
for
pretended as if they
3
don't know.
days,
When there's
actually,
massive
and I
attacks
was
in
really
almost all the
grateful
regions
to
in
General
Nigeria, they
McDonough
pretend
and
they
his
don't
team for
know.
coming
But
over
they,
there. It was a
unfortunately for
good
them, they didn't
dialogue.
know that the world
It
has
builds
been
on work that we
documenting
started together a
happenings
few
in
years
Nigeria.
ago,
The
but
same way they are
basically
documenting the
it
process
was
of
looking at how we can
illegality
work
and trial
together
of Martin
and
Nnamdi
how
Kanu.
the
One
UK
day
can
it will be used
support
against them.
Nigeria on
No matter
key
when you look
issues
at it,
like
the world
tackling
will use
criminal
it
groups,
against them,
tackling
and there will be
terrorist groups, but
evidences
also
that they cannot be
building
able to
stronger
defend.
community policing and addressing human
The
rights.
UN presence there
So
can
there is now,
trigger
is there an
a
effective,
reaction that Nigerian
practical,
government cannot be able to stand.
implementable
Martin Nnamdi Kanu
security
continual
and
trial
defence
can
partnership in
destabilize the
place
global
beyond this sort of
community
inaugural
system,
dialogue?
Absolutely.
international
And as the General said when he was here, you know, the situation in Nigeria
structures
is
of
incredibly
justice
complex
and
and
fundamental human
evolving,
rights that has
and
been
they're
thoroughly
different in different
abused
parts
as a
of the
result of
country as
what the
well.
Nigerian government
But
came to protect.
Nigeria
What Nigerian
is
government does not want this exposure of the Fulani agenda and jihadist tendencies in Nigerian government.
Apart from other problems, one of which is the kidnapping, what is known as the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, you cannot cure that. You cannot cure the absence of evidence. You cannot cure every other problem you brought upon yourself in this problem. And that's what we have told them. And in general, because this is also foundational to Nigeria, Nigeria is in search of unity, they claim. Nigeria is in search of nationhood because it has never become a nation. If you want to make that happen, you do justice to all the components of Nigeria. You don't discriminate against somebody because his name is somebody you don't like, or because his religion is what you can't stand, and then you expect the country to be united. That is not going to happen. So, in doing this, you know, we're also encouraging them to have the national healing that can bring about national unity, since they love unity very much. But there can never be unity without justice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, if you say a word, maybe a final piece of advice to government if they will listen to you, what would that be?
I don't advise government. They have over 2,000 advisors. Anybody who's advising government in Nigeria is the enemy of government. Government of Nigeria don't listen to advice. Otherwise, ChatGPT could have advised them that this case is not going anywhere. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just a prompt on ChatGPT or Grok 4 on Twitter would have advised them that this is not going to go anywhere, no matter how well it is packaged, no matter how well the propaganda is pushed. And look at where we are today in Nigeria. Look at where we are. Nigeria is in a throes of some of its worst security situation. And this is what we are wasting our time doing. You know, we have 35 Christians at the time that we are being accused of persecution of Christians in the bush, attacked by terrorists who were live streamed. You have 25 female students, Muslims, also in the bush with terrorists. You have an army general who has just been murdered by terrorists. You are not focused on that. You are trying Nnamdi Kanu because he carried a microphone to say that he wants Biafra. The only evidence they have in this court is the microphone that they found with him when he was arrested in Lagos. And his underwear, top and bottom. There is no evidence of a gun or an RPG. He was not found with police uniforms. Whereas in Katsina, someone killed an assistant commissioner of police, kept his uniform and wore the uniform to a peace conference, the so-called peace conference. And nothing is done about it. They bring their magazines and their AK-47s and their anti-aircraft guns to meetings. You can't do anything about them, but it's the guy who wears a nice Fendi and a microphone and says, we want justice. 10 years. You can't figure it out. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That destroy.
Yes, ICC, that's why Donald Trump, all these fake judges that passes fake judgment. So people like Omotosho must be arrested. People like I don't know, need to be arrested. Lawal too, they need to go behind bar. After all, they are not the first person. About 2 judges from France, yes, they were suspended. And the other one from Brazil. So if it happens to them, they are not new.
Okay, and finally, we've seen the IPOB accuse Omotosho and 2 other judges named Lawa Gabar and Aruno and Lawa as what are the ones are the people that are spoiling or tarnishing the image of the Nigerian judiciary in Nigeria. They said, and the IPOB has said they are prepared for come November 20th. They are ready for whatever Justice Omotosho brings on to Nnamdi Kanu, and it's alleged that what the Nigeria US Congress are in Nigeria or the US delegates are ready for what for this judgment. And I think Omotosho is in serious panic because you know that what the UN and the US delegate are in Nigeria, just to have seen the time pass where the US delegate came for court proceeding, and they are around this time around for proceeding.
It is not IBOB alone accusing them. It is the law that is accusing them, because they are the law, the one judging, and they are judging out of the court and out of the law and out of the constitution. Because a situation whereby you want to judge a person and you are using a law that does not exist to judge that person, definitely you are destroying the constitution of the land. And these 3 guys are fond of doing it. Do you know how many people Omotosho have killed, have murdered with a law that does not exist? If not the fact that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was so smart to quickly wake up from slumber, that is how Omotosho would have used a law that does not exist to kill him, to jail him, if possible, if not even sentence him to death. You understand? So my brother, you see Omotosho, Lawa, and Arono. These are the other Omotosho is the Federal High Court. Then Arono is the Supreme Court judge. Then the third one is appeal court. Then if you watch all these people, they are all court judges in Nigeria. And all of them are the people that they make pronouncements and they will stamp it. They believe, everybody believe and stand it as a law. And most of the times, the judgment that they pass, nobody cares to know if what the judge used to judge a person is written in the constitution. Nobody cares to check. If not for the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now, because he was so brave, so alert to the game. With this now, it shows that they have been doing illegalities regarding to our constitution. They have been messing it up for many years. Who knows? Do you understand? So, of which the cases that they have handled with this now should be visited back. You understand? It should be visited back and check those people that they have, nailed to prison and those that they have killed. They should cross-check it back, because they have used many laws that is not in the system to destroy those people or to put them where they are today. And I give God the glory, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case is exposing a lot of things, and it makes people to think a lot. A lot of things goes in our memory, in our mind, in our heart. What if, let's assuming Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, God is not with him to be as brave as he is. So this is how they would have, jail him or kill him with a law that does not exist. What a mess. So we can no wonder Obasanjo said that Nigerian judiciary is in a mess, in a sense that the lawyers, the judges are now judging, are now running the system based on person, not according to constitution. You understand? They are not looking at who is in power. It is now influenced by the people in power, not influenced by the constitution, not even influenced by the law as the law stated it to be. They no longer follow the law, they now follow the persons, and they follow what the persons say. So if Mr. President now say, you see that person, kill him, then you just pronounce sentence to death without a law backing it. And that is the kind of judges we have. Omotosho, Lamidu, and the other one, what is his name? The third one, Arono. You see, you watch this Lawa them, you watch all these 3 judges. They are evil. They are very, very evil, and they are very bad. They don't supposed to be in that position. Yes, because being a judge, you might have been a law-abiding, citizen. You might have been somebody that knows the law, and your judges must be abided by the law. And whereby you are passing a judgment that does not have a curriculum of the law, definitely you don't know the law, and definitely the law should go against you for passing unlawful law, justice against somebody.
But when Trump said the ICC must start to what? Arrest these judges that destroy all.
Yes, ICC, that's why Donald Trump, all these fake judges that passes fake judgment. So people like Omotosho must be arrested. People like Arono need to be arrested. Lawal too, they need to go behind bar. After all, they are not the first person. About 2 judges from France, yes, they were suspended. And the other one from Brazil. So if it happens to them, they are not new. And that will even help Nigerian judiciary to do the needful. Then we help Nigerian judge to do the right thing. And that will equally help our constitution. And it will help Nigerian rule of law. For a human being's sake, you can't say because this person is in position, then you use his position and use a law that does not exist to nail somebody. The person you are nailing, is he not human being like the person? Because is it not because of a position difference? And the position, the person was part of the people that sent him there. Then he now use the position in the name of president. By the way, who is the leader? Hello, who is the leader? Who are the people that are supposed to be honored and supposed to be defended or supposed to be respected? We are the ones that are the major leaders that are supposed to be respected, that are supposed to be honored. When you are talking about, we are talking about democracy, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But today, it is no longer we, it is now them. They are the ones that are supposed to serve us, not us serving them. But the Lord, the whole thing have turned upside down. You see why Nigeria is going the way it's going. And I must tell you to be frank and to be sincere. Take it or you leave it. With this, Nigeria go nowhere. No future for Nigeria. With the way the things are going, Nigeria doesn't have future. There is no tomorrow in Nigeria. Nigerian tomorrow is finished. A country that don't respect, that don't have constitution, a country that don't respect law, how can that country go forward? Or do you think as Donald Trump is now, that Donald Trump will act without the law backing him up? Even coming to Nigeria here, that's why he has to face the first, second, and the third panels for them to gain approval from them before he can come to do whatsoever he wants to carry out here in Nigeria. And these are the people that know this. So that at the end of the day, there will be no law that will hold him. And that is how it should be. But whereby you are not following this, you are sinking your country. So in Biafra, we are going to run a system that have a foundation with a constitution, which nobody must be above. If you like being Mr. President, you must abide by the law. Yes, even if you're a president, you must abide by the law. Macron, the president of France, as I speak to you, a woman slapped him. Do you understand? A woman slapped him and he appeared in court with the woman, and both of them decided to go to court and make their differences, and the law have its way. You understand? And the law have its way. So that is how it's supposed to be in Nigeria. I remember in America too, Clinton. You remember? Clinton, a woman accused Clinton of having an affair with her, and both Clinton and the young lady appeared in the court. And everybody, they defended themselves before finally the court ruled to the favor of Clinton, which Hillary Clinton supported her husband, which helped Clinton to win that fight. So in Nigeria, can all these things play? And because they cannot play, that is why it's not going to. Nigeria cannot work. No future for Nigeria. Nigeria no get future. They no get tomorrow. Yes, I'm saying the truth, and that is it. And I don't care. I know people will not like it, but that's just it.
Okay, but we've seen the US delegate, during the Amkanu court proceeding, I think 3 months ago, they came and were in court and, monitored or followed proceedings. But this time around, a lot of people are saying over 10 US Congress member and delegate are in Nigeria for November 20th, Judgment Day. But do you not think that Omotosho is under serious, threat?
Omotosho
Because
is.
Joe Biden, everybody's watching this, and any wrong pronouncement can cause riots in the southeast and some other part of Nigeria.
Don't
Because
you
the
know
US
that they
judge,
have already invited Omotosho? Don't you know? The judges in the world, they have already invited Omotosho. And they have given him the procedures, which he himself know. What it takes to be a judge. And what it takes to judge a matter that is not according to the law. The implications he knows. So Omotosho is into panicking. He's in coma already. Yeah, they have called him, they visited, they called him in order. And they have talked to him. So what Omotosho, that is why, if you watch, he was just doing that if a man Nnamdi Kanu could just make a mistake to open a defense. So from that defense now, from there, they will now look for a particular loophole to use, you understand, to nail him. But now Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground and said that he's not going to open any defense, he's not going to defend anything. You see where the whole matter hook Omotosho now. That's why he's pushing on Nnamdi Kanu that he must open a defense. Because he knew. Because judges, both the ICC, EU, and the UN, and in different diaspora have called him to order. Recently, most of this movement, you will not know. Nigeria doesn't, mostly push it out, polish it. So he has visited. They have called him. He has visited, and they start and they open a charter, and they show him, which he must not. So if he does anything contrary to the law will have its way against him. Yes, he will pay for it. So come 20th, I have told you time without number that in 20th, somebody was asking me the fate of Nnamdi Kanu. I said the fate of Nnamdi Kanu will remain his fate, and it will remain his fate forever. And that fate is either Biafra. And that's it. And the Omotosho now thinking of you cannot jail him because there is no law that permits that. And the Nigeria say they don't want jungle justice.